Hey, what's up guys, it's me again and welcome back to my channel Mayta What Ifs. I know it's been a long time and yes, I'm finally back, officially back. Hopefully from now on there will be no hindrances and we can continue to make content here regularly as much as possible. Today will be a story and from tomorrow onwards I am hoping to continue or begin a new series. Begin will be a proper word because yeah, it's going to be a long story, at least up to 6 parts, and each part I hopefully will be able to make it at least 30 minutes long, as much as I can. Above that, I mean. Anyways, I also have another channel for those who don't know. Its name is Apollo Uchiha, but I figured that you guys might already know that since you likely would have subscribed. Anyways, enough said. Make sure you leave a like and subscribe to both of my channels, and without any further ado, let's begin with our today's story. Our story begins 5 years after the QB attack in Konohagakure no Sato, as we go towards the said village Shinobi district where we see a house was located. This house belonged to Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. The Uzumaki swirl proudly presented in the front of the house. As now we see, in the backyard of the house was two redhead children sparring against one another, as the girl, who was the oldest, won. As the boy with the glasses who was on the ground then grunted, "Ugh, you might have won this one, Mitone-sama, but the next one I will win for sure." "Yes, we'll see about that, Menma." As that is when they heard a clapping sound from the other side. It was both of their parents, Minato Namikaze, the fourth Hokage and the savior of the village, and his wife, Kushina Uzumaki. As the four of them looked happy, like a perfect family. All the while, they did not realize that a pair of eyes were watching them closely, as these pairs of eyes belonged to the only normal child that didn't possess any biju or an ounce of soul within him, Naruto Uzumaki, as he was watching currently from behind the curtain, peeking at the backyard from his room up in the attic. As that is when he turned and went back to his bed and slumped his shoulders there. He had nothing left to do, or better to do. Why? Because he was a 5-year-old and was bored. His parents have forbidden him to leave the house perimeters. Why? Because their family were continuously targeted by the enemies of their parents. And not only that, they could be targeted or captured or worse, kidnapped. Anything could happen in the shinobi world. And because of that, he was restricted into this area. And the second thing that really bugged him out was that his family was always leaving him out of things, like forgetting that he even existed. And Naruto, at this point, has gotten used to it, realizing that his family didn't consider him a member of a sort, because they always laughed together, eat together, and even went out together, except for him. He always had to remind them that he also existed, but he has stopped doing that for a few months now as well. For you see, for a child that had nothing better to do, with parents who had ginormous amount of knowledge-filled scrolls and books and text from the past in the form of, well, display at their home, he would turn to them. So to ease up his boredom, he would turn to them. Aside from learning a lot of shinobi basics and stuff, he was now keen on learning about the history, the origins of the shinobis, of the jutsus. He always wondered, curiously, how was the first person who invented this jutsu and what not? Who was the person who found out about the seal? And these questions led him on a quest to the very, very beginning. And right now we see Naruto had a lot of scrolls that were scrambled around all over his room, as he was currently busy. As he, with a tired sigh, then went back to his search, as he called it, until he heard a knock. And suddenly the door opened, as Naruto's eyes widened. It was his older brother, Menma. "Naruto, Menma-ne-san, what is it?" What have you done to your room?" What is it? Never mind that," said Naruto. "Why are you even here?" "Oh, said Menma, taken aback by his brother's, well, coldness. "I was wondering that if you'd like to, go out with us. We were about to leave to go grab—" "I'm fine," Menma's words died down in his mouth as Naruto cut him off with a cold response. What? Are you sure you didn't want anything or go with us? No, I'm fine. Thank you for the offer, but I'm fine. Really am. Okay, if you say so. Do let them know, please. And just a little bit for the future. Please consider knocking before entering. Yeah, sorry about that, said Menma, rubbing the back of his head. As now we see, as soon as Menma left, Naruto locked his door, as Menma was quite weirded out about that. His little brother, who was his own twin, was being cold to him. As now we see Menma coming downstairs with a shock-filled expression, as his family was laughing and chuckling. Menma, why are you so rattled? I went upstairs and then remembered I should ask Naruto as well if he wants to go with us. And when I went into his room, he outright denied us. As that is when he noticed that his mother and father, as well as his Nae-san, had a look of confusion and realization. And then he realized, since he was a smart kid as well, they all had forgotten about Naruto. Not only today, but quite for a while now. Did we ever include him nowadays in any of our, stuff we do as a family together? Said Menma. As Kushina and Minato then said, of course we do. What did he say? He said he's fine. What? Why would he say that? We're going to eat ramen. He loves ramen, doesn't he? Actually, he doesn't, said Mito as she stood up. You see, I kind of remember a few days back when we were having dinner, I noticed him not even touching the ramen while only eating the radish as a side dish. What? Why wouldn't he like ramen? I don't know. I guess not everyone likes it. Everyone has their own preferences or choices. Nonsense, Minato. Our family loves ramen. And so does he. Where is he, even? He's in his room reading some bunch of scrolls left and right. Scrolls? What kind of scrolls? As now we see, both Minato and Kushina went upstairs as they found Naruto's door locked. And they knocked and Naruto opened the door. What is it? As Naruto was shocked with the sudden appearance of his parents. Do you guys need something? Asked Naruto, quite weirded out about their behavior. Well, we were wondering, why did you deny Menma? Did you not want to go with us? Let's be honest, I don't like ramen, so yeah, I would have hardly enjoyed or eaten anything. So what's the point? What? Have you even tried it? Of course I did. I hate it. As Kushina was taken aback by that, and almost pouted, as Naruto rolled his eyes, and that is when Minato noted, while getting inside his son's room, that these were his scrolls. Naruto, what are you doing with these scrolls? These are ancient text, almost stories or myths. Nonsense, though, John. These are not myths. These are our heritage. I have been trying to find who was the first person who created different jutsus. I mean, there has to be one, right? Like the second Hokage who created the Harishin that you perfected later on. Of course, that is correct, said Minato. You know what, Naruto? How about this? Why don't you go out with us tonight? And you know what? I'll give you the keys to my office, from where you can get even access to the other scrolls. Wait, what? You mean your Hokage office, not the home office? Yes. If that is what you want to search, then so be it, I guess. As now we see, Naruto was baffled by that, as well as quite shocked and amazed. He couldn't believe that his father, for once after ignoring him for so long, was doing this for him. To be honest, he felt quite happy, since they didn't do any bad stuff for him. They still fed him, not to be wrong or anything, but still, it kind of hurted, and he was only coming to terms that, well, they ignored him and left him outright. But it turns out that was all for naught, as Kushina then said. Alright, Minato, Naruto, let's head out then. As Kushina was still pouty about that, as Minato chuckled, don't worry about your mother. She just can't fathom that a kid of hers doesn't like ramen, the food that she considered from the early age as the food of gods. Seriously? I don't like the smell of that food. Naruto, I swear to God, if you're not my kid, I would have punched you by now so hard to send you flying from this village. Stop insulting ramen. As Menma and Mito said so as well, because they loved and adored ramen to the level of obsession. A point of advice, Naruto, don't ever say that, okay? To let you know a secret, I also don't like ramen that much. It's just that for Kushina's sake, I just eat it and say that I enjoy it. I see it, I guess. As now we see, after the whole evening, Minato returned and so did the others. As in the bedroom, we see Kushina and Minato were talking about the evening, as Minato then said, Naruto might be a genius. He has a lot of questions that seemed right. The questions that I had. But due to the wars that were going on, and due to the dream that I realized thanks to you of being the Hokage, I set aside my hobbies and focused. Since Naruto has been ignored by us, I only thought that this might win him over. Minato, I didn't believe it. How could we have neglected him? Thankfully enough, we should thank Kami and the other gods out there that it wasn't too late. God knows what might have happened. As both of them agreed on that, and vowed that they would never, ever show Bell favoritism to any other kid ever again. And from the next day onwards, Naruto was shocked that his father even brought him to the Hokage office, and there was given to him his own desk, a miniature version of it, so that he could sit and do his own research, as he called it. As time began to pass by after that, Naruto decided since he was a normal person, he'd rather remain a civilian rather than to follow the footsteps of his siblings or father or mother. Menma and Mito were quite shocked and were still quite mad at Naruto in a brotherly and sisterly manner that he didn't want to join them as well. They could have made a perfect Uzumaki team, and Kushina wanted to lead a team of her own kids as well. But they realized that Naruto had other dreams, and Minato made damn sure that his son could do whatever he wanted to do. He had complete freedom, and Naruto had chosen the life of research. And not like his research wasn't bringing out any good. Naruto was at the age of 12, when his siblings were close to graduation, was able to discover that how the hand seals worked, and there might be more hand seals. And after a few months of experimentations, at the graduation, Naruto discovers new hand seals that allowed two different elements to be combined together to be used as an all-new jutsu. For instance, as two elements that created a Kekigenkai, such as wood release, after combining the same two elements, they could use a new jutsu, like the Hashirama himself. And this was regarded well by the council, especially the elders themselves, who realized that they need to make sure that people who are genius as Naruto are well protected and preserved, because they can be the key to achieve new success and even new heights in the age of Shinobi world than ever before in the past. As now we see, currently in the council chamber, a meeting was being held as Danzo then stood up and said, I agree with everything that has been going on and that the teams that have been set. But I need and request only one thing. Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze to be brought into the Anbu sector and built his own office, the research department, where he, alongside a few group of people, will be able to do research on the ancient text. Because of his search that he has been conducting for years, as under Minato's gaze, he has been able to come out with a new form of hand seals that allow us to convert and use two different elements and combining them together to see different results and often powerful jutsus. S rank 1 and even S plus rank 1, the new rank that had to be invented for them. As many agreed, because not only it helped out the Uchihas, but also the Hyugas and the other clans. And that is why even the other clans and their elders respected Naruto deeply. Even at such a young age, he was able to do that. Gain the respect of the whole village in general. So much so that they begin to call him Young Master Naruto now. As now we see, it was approved and Minato could never be much more prouder. As Naruto was the next day then moved into his office with all of his studies and the ancient text. Even brought from the Land of Fire library with orders of the daimyo to search, because it will help them in the future. As Naruto then began his search, only to discover a harsh and dark truth. Is this even possible? Said Naruto, who was now at the age of 14, just a few months before the Chunin exams. As Naruto dashed out of his research lab towards the Hokage office, the Anbu, seeing this, followed him suit. Naruto-sama, is everything alright? Yes, just make sure that the lab door was closed. I have to go towards my father's office instantly. As after that, an Anbu stopped him and sanctioned him to the office. As he witnessed that the elders were there already in a meeting with his father. I apologize, Elder-sama. It's alright, young Naruto. Have you discovered something? Said Hiruzen Sarutobi, stroking his goatee, as Danzo and the other elders were also curious. But seeing the expression, Minato was worried. Naruto, is everything fine? Father, I have discovered something. I think we might have been wrong about the Bijus. What? What do you mean? They're not the monsters that exclaim they are the children of the sage. Children of the sage? But that doesn't make sense. Why would the children of the sage cause havoc and destruction? Not to mention, Naruto, that the same monsters almost destroyed, our home. Yes, I kind of agree with Koharu, said Danzo. It must be mistake. No, it cannot be. The scroll that I read was the most ancient one I could find. It is said that it is written by some person known as Asura Otsutsuki. As Hiruzen's eyes widened. I have heard from Sensei. Have you all forgotten? Otsutsukis were the direct descendants of the sage, and from there on the clans branched out. Senjus, Uzumakis, Uchihas, and whatnot. You're right. What does this scroll say? That the 9 Bijus are from one entity. The sage took them under their wing, making them his own children, and left them into this world for us to learn from them. They possess the knowledge. But given the treatment that we have given them over the course of years, I doubt that the Biju will be able to talk to us. I have to confirm this, Tochan. I have to enter the mindscape of my siblings. As now we see, Minato was about to deny that, but Hiruzen stepped in. Are you sure that you will be safe? Yes. Since the seal is working properly, I would be fine. I have to come to conclusion to this. I wouldn't be able to satisfy it until I come to a conclusion. Fine then, said Danzo, and Hiruzen at the elders. What? He is a child. I'm not a child any longer, father. I have a responsibility that you all have given me. And for the sake of my research, I will do this. As now we see, after a few hours, Menma and Mita were in a meditative position. As Inoichi looked towards Naruto and nodded. And then, with a mind transfer technique, Naruto's mind was transferred, and the Kyuubi was present in front of him in a huge prison. As Kyuubi's eyes opened, as Naruto gulped, What do you want, Ningen? As Inoichi was shocked, baffled, that the Biju was able to form complete sentences and words. Is it that so much so shocking, Yamanaka? How are you able to read my thoughts? Said Inoichi. Since he also had a psychological field, he too was interested. It's simple. We all thought of you as wrong. You never were the monsters. You were children of the sage left here. How do you know of such knowledge? I have been reading ancient text. The text left behind by Asura Otsutsuki stated that. So you found a scroll of him. Do you know him? Of course I do. Can you please tell me? Why should I? Look, I promise that I won't bother you. It's just that I need to understand why would he leave such a valuable information behind, and why was it kept hidden from the rest of the elemental nation? It could have made a lot of your lives easier. We knew it could have, but it was a test for humanity, from us Bijus who have agreed to hide the knowledge and not let it be known to all of the humans and Ingans, just to determine if they are who our father have seen, and so far the time has not come. But, not buts, kid. For the thousands of years since I existed, I have seen nothing more than carnage, violence, greed, and fighting, and killing left and right. All for what? You people don't deserve that knowledge of the sage. I see. It's alright, Naruto. We tried at least. You tried at least. Let's leave. I just wish that we were able to find out why were this information not given. Why did you allow yourself to be seen as villains? Because you people never tried to understand us. Then allow me to, please. As the Bijus then stared at the kid for a moment until he sighed and said, "My name is Kurama, and I am the nine-tailed fox. Go to the west. There is an abandoned village there, far beyond the sea. There resides the knowledge that we have kept hidden, the knowledge that you seek. But mind you, there might be a thing that you find there that can be quite catastrophic or can be life-changing for the elemental nations. You have a big responsibility on your shoulders, kid. I can see it already. Just make sure that you yourself don't get destroyed by the burden that you are carrying on your shoulder." As Naruto gulped and nodded, Thank you, Kurama-sama. Now leave." As both of them left, as Naruto opened his eyes with a gasp, as Inuichi was already woken up and has informed of the whole encounter, thanks to his technique and ability, and everyone there was baffled at Naruto's discovery. "Naruto? Are you alright?" said Kushina and Minato, as Menma and Mito were also there, who have also woken up since they were Jinchurikis and shinobis in training. "Yes, I am fine." "Good. That is perfect then." As Kushina hugged her child, "You're not going on this expedition until you're old enough." "I have to. I have to. No. The Bijus have kept a knowledge hidden. I have to go there." "You're not going alone there, kid," said a white-haired man who arrived there. "Jiraiya Jiri, when did you arrive?" said Naruto. "Just when he passed out a few days ago." Few days ago? What does it mean?" "Look where you are, Naruto. This is a hospital room. It has been a few days since you passed out." I see." Naruto was shocked by this. And then a team was made. Team Ryu, consisting of Anbu such as Kakashi, Yugao, as well as a few others such as Tenzo, and Jiraiya, alongside with Naruto, were left as they traveled through sea across the same island that is discovered. After arriving there, they found the ruins of an old place, a village that existed there, and it had a symbol of its own. Naruto realized what this symbol was. The Otsuzukis. The what? The Otsutsuki clan, Jiraiya Jiji. This is the clan where every clan originated from. We have discovered the holy grail of the shinobi world. The first shinobis. Chakra users. As everyone realized just what grounds they stood upon, this was kind of their birthplace. All of theirs. This is unbelievable. I don't know what to say, kid. I know as well. It's amazing, isn't it? As that is when Naruto then said, we have to look for scrolls. Anything. As after searching left and right, Naruto found a home that was still intact. And there they found a scroll in which an image was drawn. An image of a monster with 10 tails and an eye that resembled an Uchiha. What could it be, Naruto? Shinju. I understand now. What? What do you mean? In the text that I have been able to read and grasp, I found a being mentioned again and again by this Asura Otsutsuki person, that Shinju is to be beware. Shinju is going to be the fall of everything. And it could be our hope as well. Hope? What do you mean by that, kid? If it can be our downfall, how can it be our hope? Asura believed that this being, if properly treated well and trained, could be turned into our hope rather than our destruction. I see. But what is this, Shinju? This is Shinju, said Naruto, pointing towards the painting that has been displayed that sent chills run down their spine. How can this monster be our savior? Naruto, if anything, all I see is a being that can destroy. What is a saying that is famous in the shinobi world? Always look underneath the underneath. Correct. It applies here. That is what Asura was trying to guide us. Tell us. Naruto, Shiraya-sama, I have found something. As they rushed there, only to discover in the hidden ground there were scrolls, vast amount of scrolls, and not only that, a staff as well. A black staff with 7 rings on it. As soon as Naruto grabbed, one ring disappeared as markings began to itch on around Naruto's neck, and suddenly his eyes closed shut, and up on his forehead a third eye revealed itself. It had color red and black rings in it before it closed. As Naruto's eyes opened, they were Rinnegan, with tomos in them, until they too disappeared, as white tomos appeared in Naruto's blue eyes. As it settled in, as the staff then appeared in the form of a tattoo in Naruto's arm. What is this? As suddenly Naruto noticed that he wasn't standing in the room where he was. He was in front of the sage. As the sage was seated, turning his back towards him, watching the waterfall next to him. Turns out he had something in his hand as Naruto walked towards him. As the old man then spoke, "So you finally found your way, child of prophecy." What? What is going on here? Do not bother questioning what is happening. It is nothing more than a mere dream. A reality? Whatever you say, or you can think. As Naruto was baffled. Wait, you're the sage of the sixth path. Hagoromo Otsutsuki, right? Father of Asura Otsutsuki. But how do I know this stuff? I didn't know your name, I only knew Asura. The staff that you now absorbed and have made your primary weapon is indication that you are the child of prophecy, and you have been given my vast knowledge. The knowledge that my children have kept safe from the human world, the shinobi world, that have turned my ninshu into ninjutsu. As Naruto was baffled, as he saw the vision of woman, the rabbit goddess, that corrupted a being made out of the world tree, made out of nature, the strongest being, the protector of nature, was it supposed to be. As that is when Naruto opened his eyes with a gasp. As Naruto was back in the room. Naruto, are you alright? You have been out for a few hours now. I realize everything now, I understand. What is it? What is it, Naruto? Shinju was never the monster. That is what Asura was trying to say. Now I know why. He was born from the world tree. The tree that protects the nature of our world. And he was supposed to be the savior. The protector of not only humans but of us. But the rabbit goddess, Kaguya, the mother of the sage, she corrupted it, feeding it its chakra, poisoning it, and then controlling the ragged beast to destroy, turn it into the form of destruction. As everyone was shocked. How do you know so much, Naruto? Said Jiraiya. I've talked to him. Who? The sage. As everyone was shocked and baffled, and that is when a blur passed by them, as a red eye appeared. A red eye that was almost tall as the room. As that is when the whole earth began to shake, as a huge monster erupted from there. It was all white. Red eye in center with a lot of tomos in them, and 10 mighty tails swaying left and right. They almost look insects, ants, in front of it. As Naruto then said, "Fear not." As the staff arrived in Naruto's hands, as his tomos began to glow white in his blue eyes. I will take care of this. As Naruto arrived in front of the Shinju and made a new hand seal. Cleansing style. Cleanse of the chakra. As Naruto felt immense pain as orange chakra began to come into his body, and then from the left side, white chakra emerged and entered the body of the Shinju. And after it settled down, Shinju returned to normal. As the deformed monster that it once was, turning to the 10-tailed wolf that was white. My name is Shinju, and I am the 10-tailed wolf. Thank you for freeing me from this curse, child of prophecy Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. I have been waiting for you for a millennia, almost. As the others were baffled by this. I am choosing you as my Jinchuriki, and am at your beck and call whenever needed. As soon as he said this, in a white glowing chakra light, he was absorbed inside Naruto, as Naruto's tomos that were inside his blue eyes began to glow white even further, until the light became dim and they permanently etched themselves in his eyes. Everything is done and settled. Shinju has been freed. How am I gonna explain this to your father? Not only we found a world-ending calamity, you cleansed it and turned it to our side. It's something that you not do every day, Naruto. I'm getting too old for this shit. As Hiruzen Sarutobi back in Konoha sneezed, and after the team returned with the scrolls and the knowledge, Naruto, who was now completely different, they were shocked. As Jiraiya revealed everything to the council, they were baffled. So, is anyone gonna say this or not? The kid possessed the 10-tailed wolf, the strongest being made out of nature and the only original being that we can consider a deity. And it has made Naruto its Jinchuriki as well. That is correct. But what can we do? The deity has chosen him. And Naruto himself has mentioned that he will be able to save us. But how? Shinju, the 9-tailed Biju still remain, right? Said Jiraiya. As that is when Naruto arrived inside. Sorry for being late. What is going on? As after explaining everything to him, Naruto then said, as Jiraiya nodded to him to continue. The 9 Biju still remain, which means that the husk of the corrupted form still remains as well. I don't know how, but the sage was able to separate a fragment of Shinju that has been growing for millennia. The pure form of Shinju that was intended for us as our savior, before its corruption. So you mean to say there are 2 10-tails now? Yes. A violent beast, a monster, and our savior. Both of whom will fight it out. So it is an inevitable battle, said Danzo. Yes. Unfortunately, Naruto, I have to say this. You have to go under training now, instantly, my boy. I know. I realize this too as well. No, he doesn't have to, said Minato. Dad, it's fine. It's for the sake of the world. And besides, they're already on move. Where are Menma and Mito-ne-san? And Nisama? As that is when Naruto, sensing them, arrived, just in the nick of time to save them and heal them. But it was too late. The 9 tails have been taken. No, I was a little late. As after arriving back, Naruto and the whole council was baffled seeing him and the unconscious form of Menma and Mito. Naruto, what happened? Then Kurama-sama has been stolen. Abducted. That could only mean one thing. The Shinju is close to revival. We have to gather everyone. It is time we turn the ninjutsu back to ninju, as it was meant to be used. As after everyone was gathered, Naruto was able to convince all the Kages, after showing and sharing the memories of the sage that he had with them. As they were baffled, and then realized what they needed to do. After all, Naruto was the new sage of the new era. The new sage of the 6th path. As now we see, Shinju then said, the corrupted Shinju is close to revival, Naruto. Be prepared. Just like we practiced? Yes. You know how to do this, child. We have to beat that monster before any calamity, or she could be freed. As now we see, as the Kage Summit were happening and every other Shinobi Alliance was formed and continuing to train under one another, Akatsuki's leader, now revealing himself to Madara, declared war on them, and all hell broke loose. And so, on the day of the battle, both of the 10 tails stood against one another, ready to clash. Obito standing on top of the corrupted Shinju, Naruto standing atop of the 10 tails wolf. And once the battle continued, Naruto and Obito went all out, but Obito had other cards up his sleeve. Zetsu army and the Akatsuki, but all of them in front of the elemental nations that combined their strength together. And the techniques that Naruto taught them, the ninju, were failing against them. As now we see, Akatsuki were the ones on the losing end until he appeared. Madara Uchiha in real life appeared as an Edo Tensei. As he not only betrayed Obito but became the Jinchuriki of the 10 tails. the corrupted one, making him the corrupted sage of the sixth path. As since both of the sage of the sixth path existed, they clashed against one another, trying their best to control. Madara had a lot of stamina as well as a lot of skills as well as experience. Naruto was new and immature, but he had the experience of the sage within his mind, not the execution. Naruto was beaten badly, but in the end, thanks to his attack and support from the friends and the revived Kages, the first and the second were able to beat them. And that is when we see Zetsu taking the chance of the injured Madara revived her. As she arrived, she looked towards Naruto. I did not realize how you were able to free him, but he shall once more fall under my command. Nonsense! I will not. I won't allow that to happen. I am so sorry, Kaguya-sama, but please, I request you, do not do this. I do not wish to harm the mother of my predecessor. Then you shall fall alongside everyone else. As Naruto was trying his best to plead, but all pleas fell on deaf ears, Naruto engaged. And engaged so hard that Kaguya was taken aback by that. She in her monstrous rage released her corrupted form, but it got the better of her. The overpowerness of the Shinju and his corruptness and enragement just was more than enough for her to bear, as she exploded, killing herself because of the overpower. And the Shinju that was corrupted began to grow more in power because of the fear as well as the greed that was there. Naruto and the sane Shinju then destroyed it, separating the 9 Bijus and making sure the husk was destroyed once and for all. As the battle came to an end, only cheers for the real Shinju and the other 9 Bijus and the new sage of the sixth path of the new era were being heard. As now we have our skip of a few months later, as we see Naruto was back into his lab again. And this time Shinji was next to him in the form of a pup with 10 tails, resting, since Shinji wasn't practically sealed within him. And not only that, the other Bijus were also able to, thanks to him being the sage, remain near him, as the other nations now were allied, and have shared their knowledge with him, since Naruto wanted to make it easy and a custom for this knowledge to be passed down, so that the others could innovate after learning this knowledge that like he did. You know what, kid? Said Kurama. Even if you were not my shinobi, even if we weren't fighting together, you were able to save me. And that is something I can respect. And that is why I am willing to follow you. And so are my siblings. As Naruto smiled and said, you don't need to follow. Follow your heart is all I can say. As Kurama's eye and the other's eyes widened, because that is the same verse that his father had said to him. Naruto indeed was the new era's sage of the sixth path. It has become inevitable. After all, as this is where I'm going to be leaving the story of, guys. I hope you enjoyed this, and if you did, then make sure you leave a like and subscribe to my channel, and follow me on my Apollo Uchiha channel as well. As this is it for the day. Peace.